Hey there, everyone. How's everybody doing? Good to see some people over here on this channel. Let's see how many actually show up. I looked a little bit ago. It said there was only 6 waiting. Michael B., you're first tonight. I am feeling better, and I'll explain why and how. Um, Igor, hello. It is a statement and it's a question. You'll see why. Um, this may be the best evidence I can't even think of any better evidence than this, and I'll explain why. E. Spears, hello, hello. Mark Harris. And Sticks of TNT. He's got a music video. There you go, guys. So now it's saying we have 4 people. So let's give it a few minutes, see if anybody else comes. I'm drinking my emergency. You've changed your picture, Sticks. Hello, Chipper. Chipper 66. So I will explain why I'm better. The best I can, anyway, if you know what I mean. As you know, I came down with COVID Friday, or you may not know, I came down with COVID Friday. And it started with a cough. And I knew something was different because coughs don't usually start that way with me. They don't start with like a little bit of pain in my chest. Usually you get a little bit of warning, like maybe post-nasal drip for the last 2 or 3 days, but that wasn't the case. And I ended up with a slight fever Friday evening. That's why we didn't do a stream. I laid down and the fever just makes you feel bad. And so I didn't do a stream Friday. Saturday, I felt better, no fever, but my lungs were a little bit worse. Sunday, lungs a little bit worse again, and I started getting a sore throat. I think I got the days right here. And then Monday was the worst as far as how I felt with lungs, sore throat, nasal congestion, the whole deal. And Monday, I was able to speak to a physician, and I got YouTube physician prescribed drugs. And like I said, I don't know what it is, but I think it begins with an I, something like that. So I take one of these prescribed drugs at 5:15 p.m. because that's when I got home with it. And went to bed around 8 or 9 and woke up at 3 in the morning. And as soon as I woke up, I knew I was better. The sore throat was gone, and which was really bad when I went to bed. The sore throat was gone, and I coughed a little, and the lungs didn't hurt. I mean, they felt like razor blades were scratching my lungs every time I coughed before. That went away. So now I'm pretty much just left with nasal congestion and weakness. I don't feel like I have energy. I'm sort of on the high side of low energy Jeb. Yeah, Scott, there's still some to my voice. It's not quite right. Much better than the video I did the other day, though. So we got 17 people. Okay, we're doing a little better here. So what I want to talk about, I want to go back to this because I've been thinking about this in my time off. And I actually uploaded a video today on Muscle Fast. Now, most of that was done in advance. I just had to read the script and then plug and play all the rest of the stuff that I'd already done. But so I did have some energy today. I'm going to try to make it an hour tonight. We'll see. But I really want to look at this. And we're going to look at a couple of videos that Polster X sent me. And by the way, Polster X did a video on the showing that you can have a cross with the sun at 93 million miles, and I am evaluating that. And so we'll go from there when I eventually get to it. I want to share something that I haven't shared before, which is on it's nothing secret. It's just a different application that I want to use. Can I use it? Yes, I can, but it shows it weird. All right, let's look at this first then. All right, here's what they say. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson says it, and everybody else on their side. We looked at this before. I'll make this larger when we get there. And what they're saying is that you have a sunset, and then if you go up 100 feet, you see another sunset. And if you go up another 100 feet from there, like with a drone, you'll see another sunset. And every 100 feet you go up. Now, Poster has said that to me, which I find absolutely fantastic. Now, they say the reason is because you're raising up on the right side here, you're looking up, down over the curve. So the sun is out. You're actually getting the higher you go, the more sunset you're going to see, or the later that sunset is going to be for you. And, but what that actually presents is this. And there's no way around this. And this is exactly what they're saying. A lateral line, see what they're saying is the can't get this perfect, but I'll try. There we go. And let's make it white. A lateral line like this is what you can normally see because you're raised up. The sun's rays are coming from a lower vantage point and coming up. Okay. Now here's what they claim. So here's the Earth. And here's my little stick figure people on the right. And this is grossly exaggerated, but I still needed to make the point. So let's pick red. And so this guy at 100 feet, you know, this guy, he just witnessed sunset, but a guy at 100 feet, he can still see the sun because of his elevation above the Earth. Let me make this thicker set. And then you got a guy, let's just use green this time, who, this guy here, once the guy at 100 feet, oh, sorry. It turned both of them green. Okay. So let's make this one yellow and a thicker set. This guy here, because he's got a higher vantage point, the sun is angled even more upward so he could see it. And so on and so forth until you get all the way up here, in this case, 500 feet. Okay. And again, gross exaggeration. But think about it. What Poster told me is that every 100 feet you send that up, the drone, you're going to see another sunset after the person 100 feet lower than you won't see it anymore. Great. Fantastic. So that means on Mount Everest, which is, well, if you're at 1,000 feet, that means you're going to see, let's just say 10 sunsets beyond this guy down here. Okay. This guy down here. He's in the dark now, but up here, you're still in the light. So on Everest, you're going to see, since it's roughly 25,000 feet, you're going to see 250 sunsets. You can, if you had a drone that could keep going up 100 feet, you'd see 250 different sunsets before you got to the top. And how many suns is that going to be above the Earth that you're seeing? A lot. All right, now, let me come back to you guys. So let me remove that and stop that. Now let me share this. If I can. Hold on a moment. All right. Now, Poster sent me this, one of two videos. They're both basically the same. I like this one better because it's a little more clear. But you get the same thing. Now, you can't see it yet, but you will in a second here. If I can find it. There it is. It didn't show up last time. Okay, let's look at this one. Now, I'm going to play this video. And what he's saying is, let me get to it so I can make it larger for you guys. Hey, we got 23. We had 23 people. 21. Now there's 2 people left because they're like, oh no, they're talking about flat Earth. Now I'm going to play this through one time. It's a whole 8 seconds long. All right, I'll play it from the beginning. And well, I'll just let it play. And this is the highest peak here in the middle, evidently. Sure, not 100% about that, but I think it is. And let's go from there. Let's watch sunset on top of Mount Everest. All right, there you had it. Now, what it looks like, what the appearance is, and this is where like people with, see, it's light underneath the clouds. What it is the peaks we cannot see. There's evidently a very high one here on the right, much higher than the one over here. The peaks we can't see, their shadows are getting longer as the sun moves farther away. It gives the appearance that it's tilting up, but there's a way to prove whether they're tilting up or not. And this is what I want to do. Now, if you notice this highest peak in the middle, it never gets covered by any other shadows. Never. In fact, I will take it to, can you still see the light here? I'm going to give you the link to this. This peak to the left, this peak over here, and this peak here, and the very top of this are still lit up. Let's go a little bit farther. Now it's just these two. Still those two. Again, I don't know if you can see it. Still those two. And the very last bit of light you can see is that, again, they're never covered by another one. It's just the sun goes away and it becomes totally dark in the video. Let me get you, like I said, it's only 8 or 9 seconds long. Here is the link to it. I'll drop it in the stream if I can get back to it. Now, as I said before, here's the deal. If that's true, I have a place here. It's called Australia Mountain. I used to live there, but I never was at the highest peak part. I think the highest peak there is about 4,000, 4,500 feet. And from that, I'm hoping there's a clear view of the west and there's no mountains to the west to interfere with sunset. If that's the case, then I can go there. Then I should be roughly 40 sunsets from what someone would see sunset on the ground. And wherever I do this, I want to take equipment to show, because if that's the case and the sun is angled up that much, because we're seeing that we're that high off the ground, and the reason why we can see the sun, first of all, between 0 and 100 feet, you get rid of all the ground obstacles. That's why that can happen, if nothing else. Everything else, however distant it is to the sun, every 100 feet up, your atmosphere is less dense. It's the density of the atmosphere that blocks the sun as it gets too far away, right? That's our theory. That's why we can see it at higher levels, not that the angle is high. Now, if I take an object, and I place it next to another object, when I can see the sun from 4,000 feet or even 400 feet, as long as we can verify sunset has happened at the surface and not where I am yet. The shadow, if I'm at the shadow from this, projected on, let's say this is a white wall instead of a water container. The shadow from this ball should point upwards. In other words, if I get this really close, the top part where my finger is here, if I take it away, there's going to be a shadow because the sunlight is below it, pointing up. And my shadow, or any other shadow that I put elevated or not elevated, should come off the ground. Right? It should come off the ground because the angle of the sunlight is up. That's why our shadow goes down during the day, because the sun overhead is causing the shadow to drift down. Now, we already have the evidences. To me, this is the best. There's no refraction. There's no anything involved with this. It's very simple. Is the sun always above us or is it not? If it's always above us, then they're the one that has the problem. We don't. And irrevocable problem, in my opinion. Now I'm going to show you this. And I'm actually going to play this. I don't think there's going to be any copyright on it. Why does it not show? This is called Sunrise on Mount Everest from the South Summit. Sunrise. So the opposite of what we had before. Got to make sure I include the audio because I want you to hear, because he's saying the sun is just now coming up. It doesn't matter. It should be able to come up for a while, and the angle is still pointed up because they're seeing a sunset. Like I said, 250 times. They're 250 times removed from the sunset on the surface level. It's not asking me if I want to share audio. Why not? Oh, brother. So I'll put it on my browser. And now I'll share it on my browser, and hopefully we'll get audio. Yep, there we go. Little techniques. Okay, listen to this. And we're going to listen to about 30 seconds or less of this.
Hey there, guys.
Sorry, I got to I have to mute my microphone. So
Hey there, guys. We're almost at the South Summit on our way to Everest. Check it out. Ah, Tess. So we've been climbing since 9 a.m. and the sun is just starting to rise, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
okay, you got that? Thank you, Dub. What I want to do is go back to about 12 or 13 seconds in this video. And hopefully my microphone shows that it's working. I don't know how you can, well, I'm going to have to play it a little bit so that this darkness goes away. But as you're going to see, watch their shadows. They're being cast downward. Everybody's shadow is being cast downward to the ground. This guy in particular, because he's closer to the camera, or the guy that you see second closest to the camera, closest to the middle. His and the third guy, which you're going to see, look at their feet. Look at their feet, which should be lifted off the ground because the angle is so low of the sun. And this is going to be definitive, guys. I'm convinced. And if I go to some altitude and I notice the sunset and then I'm at that altitude and I can't get the shadow to cast upward, well, then I know for a fact the sun is still above our head, okay? Still above our head. And that can only be on a flat earth. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson said to watch sunset in Toronto and then go up on the 1,150-foot high restaurant in Toronto that revolves around in a circle. And you'll see the sunset again. And he got the time messed up and he didn't say it anymore. But he said that's for the same reason you're looking over the curve of the earth. So let me go back to it so I can get it back to 12 or 13 seconds. Look at those shadows.
Tess.
Look at this guy's shadow right here. and here. They're all being cast downward, not upward. So the sun is still above them. Yeah, it is a fisheye lens, that's for sure. Sorry, I got to get some vitamin C in me. A shadow isn't an optical illusion, though, Okabe. A shadow is real. A shadow doesn't lie. A shadow doesn't care. It isn't affected by refraction. It isn't affected by people's thinking. It's just a shadow. So the ultimate thing to do would be to have a drone on the ground somewhere, preferably the Pacific, be up 5, 6, 7, 800 feet high or higher. I don't know if a mountain pass or a high rise. I understand there's a Hilton there. I don't know how many stories it is. And have the drone show sunset. And if you're up high enough, then you should have it for quite a while. 800, 900 feet, maybe 1,000. And let's see what the shadows do. They're not going to cast downward. I mean, they're not going to cast upward. They're just not. And my shadow isn't going to leave the ground. And if I put something at an L elevated and put it next to something where it's going to cast a shadow, it's not going to cast up. And something on that platform that's standing like a little person, it isn't going to cast upward either. It's going to cast down. And if it does cast up, then I'll say, oh, well, that's pretty good evidence right there that we live on a ball. I am that confident. Oh, I got you, Okabe. Got you. So to me, this is the most definitive thing you can do for the Earth shape. If that sun, no matter where you are, is always casting your shadow down, it's always above you then. There's no way around it. So what's up with everybody? "26 people." I knew it was going to be less on here just because we can't do. Oh, in case you're wondering, I'm in timeout on Mr. Thrive and Survive because I questioned the 2020 election. In fact, I should read to you what it says. If I kept it, I think I did. Come on. Maybe I didn't. Did you hear that pop? Anyway, me and Puzzly Lovejoy, we have been analyzing many pictures of Everest. And they all indicate the sun is always higher than Everest. Never pointing up. I guess I don't have it. I wanted to read to you guys what they told me. Because if I don't have it, I don't want to get spanked again on this channel. Yeah, I don't have it. But you know what was bad about it was they sent me a notice that they took it down and the reason. And then about 3 or 4 days went by, and then they gave me the strike, which is stupid or horrible because that means your timeout starts from the time they give you the strike. So what did they do for 3 or 4 days? Just extend it. Hello, Vintage. Hello, never mind. And by the way, guys, thank you for commenting on my Muscle Fast videos, and thanks for all the well wishes and prayers and stuff like that. I did leave a pinned comment to update how I was doing after I took my medicine. Miracle, guys, total miracle. And I see why they don't want people to have it. I've never had such a turnaround in such a short period of time. 10 hours, guys, 10 hours. Remarkably better after 10 hours. Canadian truck driver's convoy made it to Ottawa. Didn't the police or somebody try to block that for a while? Never mind. I've just caught little pieces of that. So how you doing, Vintage? Is everything going well? You had some relative issue last time or something? Can't remember. You know, Doug, when you said Lux Curved fisheye lens, they obviously had to spend probably tens of thousands of dollars on equipment. He's on a respirator, so to speak. He's on oxygen because they're so high. And they take a stupid $29 camera up with them. It just blows me away. All Earth is flawed as a theory. To me, there's nothing going to be more definitive than this. If you can show that the sunrise happens more than once and the shadow is still cast downward where you are before the sun sets, then that's it. It's case closed. The sun is always above you then. Well, that's good, Vintage. If you don't remember, you don't remember. I got some bad news today. My best friend of all time, the guy that went in the Navy on the buddy program with me, his wife was she had some pretty bad indigestion. She went to the doctor and found out that she had stomach cancer generally. And usually when you have that diagnosis, you don't live very long after that. That's one of the more aggressive ones. She's gone well over a year, but I just found out she's in hospice and he doesn't know how long she's going to make it. And so I told him, I said, if you need me, for him, I'd wear a mask on a plane to go. He's in Baltimore. I'd wear a mask just to go be with him or whatever when that happens. So if all of a sudden one day I'm just gone, I'll communicate with you guys with the iPhone. But that's the reason. I don't anticipate it for a couple months, and it may never happen because he may not want me to come, but we'll see. Trevor thinks truth matters. 6 years later, and the indoctrination is too much to overcome for most people, and it saddens me greatly. Yeah, cancer does suck. I did tell him about my miracle med, though, and I sent him 3 of them because my doctor gave me 2 treatments worth just in case I ever needed it again. So I sent him 3 and told him where he can get more. And Mike Ball, I think he's the one that sent this earlier. There's a meme. It says they lied about it. Tobacco, mercury in teeth, opioids, aluminum, talcum, sweeteners, saturated fats, GMOs, raw milk, cholesterol, fluoride, and glyphosate. And I was thinking when I was looking at this, I was like, the people that are so sheltered from real belief, they would look at this and like, what do you mean they lied about what? What do you mean? What did they lie about? They don't probably even know half of this stuff. So how do you like oh, well, thank you, Anna. That's very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much, Anna. And thank you for all you do, helping me out. I appreciate it. And thank you to Nikki if you're on here. You helped again. Thank you so much. Yeah, they get angry. They've been told a theory. I mean, think about it. People don't even know. It's like, do you know where the change happened with the solar system and how we viewed our place in the universe and all that kind of stuff? Flat and stationary and everything moved around us. And then all of a sudden, we have a spinning ball flying through space. And the reality is the Catholic Church started it. They wanted to come up with a different cosmology. That's the word I'm looking for. So they hired Galileo. He did mostly mathematician stuff and Freemason, of course. And he came up with the theory and gave it to them, everything that we know today. And even they thought it was so radical that they buried it. I mean, they were like, okay, thank you later. And it wasn't until after he died that they pulled it off the shelf, so to speak, and then spread it. That's how we came. Nothing science, just a bunch of mathematical gobbledygook drawn out on paper. No real science. That's how we came to believe the way we do today. It's just crazy. We have limitless information for fingertips, but mind control is effective on all levels of intelligence. Yeah, and not only that, but it's I'm going to get to you in a minute, Scott, on that. Oh no, I can't. Shoot. It was 15 days, Scott, but you're correct. It was 2 years ago. Oh, I can't believe it was 2 years ago. No. Wasn't it? Didn't it start March 15th of 2020? It ran to the 30th. We're supposed to run to the 30th. That's right, Sticks. Illuminati geometry. And now everything is put together to confirm what Galileo came up with. Just like the nutcase Darwin. Everything is out there to confirm it. They find these pig bones, and it's suddenly the missing link until they really find out what kind of bone it was. And gravity doesn't work, so all of a sudden, let's invent dark matter. What? You can't see it. You can't prove it's there, but it has to be because there isn't enough gravity in the universe. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I just saw they confirmed that there's water under the ice, or water as ice. I can't remember which way they worded it. It was kind of weird. On Mars at the South Pole. It's like they're getting all these elements that they're just going to need to fake the people out. Oh yeah, they can survive off that water there. Just like they're gonna build buildings on the moon by mixing moon dust and water and heating it up, and it's stronger than concrete. So that's going to be their concrete. I just want to know how they're going to get the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of megatons of water there to do all that. Besides all the water they need for people to live, it's just you just can't make it up. But it's there. There's water now on the moon in liquid form or in ice, one of the two. But it's on the lit side of the moon. They can see it on the lit side. It's like you have no pressure. Do you know what temperature that water would have to be at before it became liquid on the moon? Unbelievable stuff. UVA is canceling transplants for people who don't have the shot. UVA, University of Virginia? Is it University Medical Center of Virginia or something like that? March 15th sticks. Thank you. I thought it was the 15th. 15 days to flatten the curve. This is, man, I really want to get into it. But you can't do it. What I'm thinking is, does anybody know what a rumble is on Rumble? I have 11 rumbles on my Muscle Fast site there. I don't know what that means. This was the time where natural gas started becoming rare because all the media was gaslighting us all over the world with what was coming. It's right, Mark, and evidently fictitious physics too that I don't understand, which I'm glad I don't understand. I don't want to understand the physics of a fake force. Asia started in February. Actually, you know what, Scott? I thought Asia might. I don't know. Who knows what's truth and what isn't? Supposedly, the first case was in December, and in China. Anna says Rumble is a like a fist bump, so to speak. Oh, thank you so much. I had no clue what it was. I need to find your Rumble channel. I have two of them. I have one, Mr. Thrive and Survive, and I have a Muscle Fast one. The Muscle Fast one is in the description. I'm not sure if the Mr. Thrive and Survive one is or not, but I'll make sure. I have to get that to make sure it is there next time. My voice is already starting to lose it. This is the most I've talked since I got this. But man, what a difference. What a difference 10 hours made after I ingested something not FDA approved for it. Shamgar Connors. Sounds like a sham. I've got a Facebook link. Oh, Virginia hospital denies unvaccinated patients spot on an active kidney list transplant. More Newsweek, more hospitals are removing transplant patients from lists due to COVID vaccine status. What a wonderful world. Have you ever seen anything like it? Ever. I was denied a entrance to MIT because I didn't have the smallpox vaccine. No, you got it, E. Spears. Something like ivy, something, poison ivy. I don't know. A physician prescribed it, and it's got to be compounded for your weight. And you get it at a compound pharmacy because you can't get it at any other pharmacy because they withdrew it from them. They're not allowed to have it. Indigestion is Rumble. uh, so yeah, E. Spears, amazing. I'm on day 3, and all it took was day 1 to see a difference. DCM. You know you have something, but you don't look sick. Had to fix this curtain earlier with my arms up over my head, and my arms felt like noodle. Oh yeah, you do have something then, probably. Yeah. That's my biggest complaint right now is just the tiredness. That's right. Never mind. Worm free. Oh man, I found a nice site, a very nice site. In fact, I'll have to share it with you guys. That talks about all that, and it talks about how the media, Rachel Maddow of all people, just absolutely destroyed it or tried to. If I have that open right now, I will share the link. Nope. Oh boy. I'll have to find that again. I'm going to share with you something that happened to me since I had this. I decided to be nice to my fellow man and not go to the store to get groceries because I needed groceries. Knowing that a mask wasn't going to do anything. Now, this was Saturday after my fever was gone, and I grew up with the. Well, thank you, Anna. Fist bumps going out. Awesomeness. Thank you so much. You're like my social media booster. I appreciate it so much. So my I only had the fever the one day, Friday. Saturday the fever was gone, and I grew up with the axiom: no fever, you're not contagious. And I know that certain things aren't going to keep it from other people. In any case, so I was like, but I'll be nice. I'm going to order groceries. I don't order groceries. I go pick up groceries. I order everything else, but groceries I go get. So I decided to order it from my local Safeway. And it was 4 a.m., my typical insomnia time. And I ordered my stuff, $50 worth of groceries. And around 9:15, they text me and say, we just dropped off your groceries. Okay, cool. I go out front, nothing, not a thing. Well, I live in one lot, and I put the wrong lot number in. Instead of a 2, I hit 3. And I guess I did it without glasses on too. But anyway, so it delivered 10 houses up from me. And I looked at the picture and I was like, oh, yeah, they did deliver it. And I went up there, and sure enough, it was the same porch. And it showed my milk that was there and other stuff. And when I got there, it was gone. So it was like, well, I had something frozen. So I was like, oh, maybe they took it in until they can figure out who it is. And then, whatever. So I knock on the door, and I know they're there. These are mobile homes. You can only fit 2, maybe 3 vehicles. You can't even fit 3, even with a driveway. They had 3 because they had a motorcycle, pardon me, and 2 really old, beat up looking trucks. So I know they were there. They wouldn't answer the door. So I wrote out a note stating who I was, gave them my phone number, and I said, my groceries were accidentally delivered to your house. Please give me a call. I went back up there an hour later. One of the vehicles was gone. The note was gone, and no one ever called me. So they just simply flat out, in my mind, stole the groceries. Now, I believe legally, anything delivered to your house, you don't have to give up. But still, what kind of mankind has it coming down to? And that's not it. It doesn't end there. Then later, my son-in-law, my sister and brother-in-law, rather, when they found out that I had COVID, they decided they want to send me a pulse ox. They asked if I had one. I said no. They're like, we'll send you one. I was like, don't worry about it. It's okay. But they did anyway. They overnighted it using Amazon. Well, guess what? Amazon delivered it to the wrong place too. But this one had my address on it, on the thing. Nobody ever brought it. That was 3 days ago. Nobody ever brought it to me. They just kept it. Anyway, there was one other thing that was supposed to get delivered that day. Never happened either. It was just a weird thing. I tell you, man, everything works in cycles. If you get into a certain cycle, it stays that way until the cycle breaks. It's like if you ever want to bet, especially something that's played all the time, like baseball, go back and see if I'm right or not. And I don't know what the odds are with baseball. I don't know if you can actually make money or not doing it this way, but I don't care who the team is. I don't care if they're the best team in the league versus the worst team in the league. You look and see, let's say the worst team is playing the best team, but the last game that each one of those played, the best team lost and the worst team won, and they're going to play each other. Keep betting on the team that won to keep winning. Everything is in streaks. You don't see even the 500 teams, the teams that win 81 and lose 81 in the year. They're not going to win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. No. It's like win, 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 loss, loss, win, 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 loss, 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 win, win, loss, 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 loss. And even those win and loss groupings, they will form a pattern. It's amazing. It's like flipping a coin. If you flip a coin and it lands on heads, and you want to bet someone $1 if it'll land on whatever the next time, call heads again. The heads will come up more often until tails run. Then tails will run. It's just something with nature. Everything runs like that. And they know this at the casinos. They watch people that just stand there and watch for the, what is it? Is it roulette? Yeah, roulette, where it's numbers. You have red and black numbers, and then you have green. That's the house money. I mean, you can bet on green, but if you bet on red or black, red, black, whatever, sooner or later you're going to lose no matter what you bet on because it's going to land on green. There's 2 numbers that are green out of 35 or something. Anyway, there are people that watch the pattern. Red, 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 black, black, red, 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 black, black, red, and then they'll bet red again because it's in that pattern. And they actually have people watching for people that are looking at that, and they will stop you from playing because they know you can beat the system that way. It's amazing. It's a good way to predict the weather. Hey, I heard there was going to be a big snowstorm on the East Coast. Is that right? I was actually looking at I have a lot of time on my hands laying in bed. I was looking at models. I was like, oh, this looks like it could be a giant East Coast storm. Let's see. $45 in London, if anybody's from there. Okay, they're not showing it in Baltimore. Let's see. It looked like to me like it was going to be hardest hit was going to be like Boston area. What's the 10-day weather forecast for Boston? Saturday, 80% chance of snow. So we'll see. We'll see how it develops. But this one's got potential. It really does. The only thing is there's no blocking mechanism off the Atlantic, so it may just move more to the east. But that could change. Great Book is 13 against the bank, and they beat the casino. Oh, cool. What were they playing, Scott? There was something with blackjack's the only thing I play at a casino, and it's hard to explain why. But if you can get, this is why it's hard to get. If you can get single deck blackjack, you actually start out with a slight advantage over the house. 2 decks, they have a slight advantage. 6, 7, 8 decks, like they always do, they have a pretty good advantage. You can wait to the advantage if you know how to count cards. I'm not saying I do, but roulette, interesting. Yeah, I think roulette's the only one. Like I said, it's 2 out of 30, 2 out of 35, 2 out of 37 that will burn you. So that's close to 50-50. But blackjack's close to 50-50 too. The problem is today they don't pay you the right odds. They used to pay 3-2 on a blackjack. Now it's 6-5 type of thing. It's Jacob again. Rip off Jacob. But yeah, well, I don't know where I was going with blackjack, but that's the only thing I'll play. And the thing there too with if you go just for recreational without me getting into it. What I was going to get into is there's something about this thought. Pardon me. And you know how the dealer, let's say, has 14 and they have to take a hit. And sometimes you might have 14. And sometimes you take a hit depending on what the dealer has. Say the dealer's showing 17. 16, and you have 13. Just about everybody will say you hit that 13. And but every card from 8 and above is going to bust you. And there's more cards 8 and above than not. So there's this thing where you never take a hit to where you can bust. And I haven't been able to play it out enough to see. Maybe I'll do that if I can't do anything else. I'll just lay in bed and play fake blackjack. But no matter what you do, you never take a hit to bust. And what that eliminates is the times that because you bust first. And then if the dealer busts, she's already taken your money, or he's already taken your money. You're out. But if you didn't bust and they did, you get paid. So anyway, there's something with it. To me, it's almost like what the lies we're told. I think we're programmed with these lies too, so we lose at the casinos. Anyway, it's just something I'm looking into. I look into weird stuff. The only thing I do else like to bet on is horse racing. But if I understood the odds process and stuff with baseball, I would maybe do that. But if it was like just even money, you'd win. And I remember when I was growing up, what got me thinking about this, there was a man that the father of kids that I played with as teenagers. I would go over his house, And he would always bet. We were in Baltimore, the Orioles. And if the Orioles lost, he would bet that they would win the next day. And if they won, he would bet that they would lose the next day. And I started paying attention to it. I was like, after a while, I realized, wait a minute, it's all streaks. He'd be best switching it the other way. But he was always drunk and stuff, so he wouldn't listen to me. Vintage no more snow. Yeah. Rough winter, huh? I'm not going to touch a DCM. This channel is still pristine as far as strikes. And I almost uploaded a video on Rumble and did a video, then did a 1 minute video telling you click the link in the description about what's been happening to me with fixing my issue, which is amazing, absolutely amazing, really is. But on the downside, this is the longest I haven't been to the gym since, I don't know, the Challenger crew had to go into witness protection and change their identity because they faked the crash. I think it's been that long since I missed this much time at the gym. Wow, Okabe. Oh, good, Anna. My dad taught me to play poker when I was 4 or 5. Got those critical thinking skills started young. Anna, have you seen The Sting? And the famous train scene where Lonigan and Shaw play each other? Which is funny because Lonigan's real name is Shaw. Shaw's real name is Robert Redford. I mean, Paul Newman. But you never know how you're going to influence your kids. My son, when he was about 8 or 9, he watched that with me. He liked it too, The Sting. He liked it a lot. He's very intelligent. And then when he was a little older, 11 or 12, he wanted to play poker. He started getting interested in poker. And I pulled Anna, that's one of the best scenes ever. Is that train? I would actually play it for people that haven't seen it. Search for it's got to be on here. Train scene. Thing. It's the full one is 9 minutes 58 seconds. I'm going to drop it. Oh my God. It's to me, it's my most favorite movie scene ever. Wow. That's one hell of a URL. Oh, it's because it's coming from Google. But that'll take it to a YouTube video. Unbelievable. Watch the people's eyes, watch their expressions. It's just perfect. Oh, that came out in 2 different It came out in 2 different URLs. It was so long. Here we go. You might have to get a little bit of the history for it to really be cool, but oh my God, that scene is unbelievable. Can't do push-ups on a weekday, huh? Lazy. Hello, Nikki M. Good to see you. You too, Nikki M. Thanks for commenting and stuff, and thanks for your help. I appreciate it. God bless you. But that's a wonderful scene. But I pulled what happens in that scene on my son. I won't ruin it for you, but something interesting happens in the poker game, and I pulled it on my son, and because he went all in. He was like, "There's no way I'm losing this hand." And then I beat him, and then he just started cracking up because it brought to mind that scene. But I think the reason why I like that movie a lot is because the slang that's in it reminds me of how I was in my neighborhood with the peeps I hung out with when I was a teenager. In particular, we had our own language. I probably talked this story before. Our own slang, and if you weren't around us, I'm sure we just probably talked like we were. I don't know, from Eastern Mongolia or something, because we had so many slang words. Uh, if you wanted a clip, you wanted a cigarette, and Rakus meant it was too expensive, and it was just our whole language was just flooded with slang, and it was cool. I loved it, and that's the way it is in the Sting. They have their own slang, and one of the one of the things is, um, evidently, one of the slangs they used back then, if you owed somebody money and you weren't going to pay or whatever, that meant you were going to take a powder. How do I know you're not going to take a powder? Is what they say in the Sting. It's in that scene. And a little bit ago, I borrowed money from my son Zach, the one that liked the movie, and he texted back to me. How do I? He goes, "How do I know you're not going to take a powder?" And for a second, it didn't dawn on me, and then I just cracked up. Yeah, you do me right, Nikki, all the time. Do some push-ups, DCM, and if you can't, it means you might have the need to get some dewormer. So yeah, I was not expecting to be able to do this tonight, but what the heck, huh? Taking the powders and unboxing. Does it mean like falling or taking or like taking a fall when you really shouldn't be taking a fall? Is that what it means, Sticks? Because then it would kind of make sense. You got it, Anna. You've seen the whole movie, so you know the background as far as who the good guys are, the bad guys, whatever. That helps. Oh man, what a wonderful scene! I don't know who put that together. I don't know who the writers were, the director too. There's the one part where you see, well, there's a couple parts that are in particularly good. Lonigan's eyes, unbelievable. Robert Shaw, he could tell a story with his eyes. And so you have the camera like from Paul Newman's vantage point looking at him. And there's when he ends up having the outcome of this poker game done, his eyes shift ever so slightly to the person sitting behind Paul Newman, the person who rigged the deck, so to speak. That was one thing. Um, and then Paul Newman was classic too, with the camera, how they did that. And you have a close up, and you just see the cigar he has in his mouth. It's kind of blurry, and he's looking back to see if the guy is looking at his hand or whatever. It's great. It's just the whole thing is unbelievable. Yeah, Sticks. That makes sense then. Yeah, it does. It applies well there, even though it has nothing to do with boxing. But thanks for that. I didn't know that's where it came from. But at one point, when they scam somebody, they say, "You blew him off to a cab on 47th." Blowing them off. It's just littered with slang, and to me, I love it. Over 2 weeks that you felt with no fear throughout the day, I feel like I have strength in me. It's like I have fatigue from doing nothing heavy. DCM, are you actually checking your to see if you have a fever? I wasn't sure at first if I had one, and it's usually very mild with this, like maybe 1 degree, 1.5 degrees, and then it goes away. And then it might come back a little bit later. And if I would have gone to a doctor, they would have said, "Oh, you don't have a fever." My normal temperature is 1 degree exactly below normal. Mine is 97.6. I don't care when I take it. It's 97.6, 97.6, 97.6. I mean, right on the dot every time. Go to the doctor for whatever reason. They take it, 97.6. And so I was like 98.8, 99. They would have said, oh, that's nothing. 99.4. I think 99.6 was about the highest. No, they get to 100 very briefly. And then it went away. Thank God. Mine is more of a feeling, DCM. You put your hand over your forehead, it feels normal. Yeah, I do the same thing too. Particularly this part, right? The front of your hand, like in here, you can just, it's like there's sensors in there to tell you if you have anything going on with a fever. But sometimes that fails me. So I have the, what is it too about these places? You go and they go to take your thermometer at these medical places and they stick it in you, in your mouth. And they never put it in the right place. There's 2 places in your mouth that are good for temperature. So I always move it to the right place. But it takes forever to get a temperature reading, probably because mine's a degree low. It just takes forever. And in fact, sometimes they put it away and get another one out to test mine because they think theirs is broken or whatever. I got this little cheap thing. I don't know where I got it, probably Amazon. And I stick it in my mouth and like 6-7 seconds later, beep, beep, I take it out and it gives me the number. And it's always 97.6, just like everybody else's. So it's not that cheap. It gets it done right. Yeah, DCM. We do the same thing. It takes a lot for me to get the thermometer out, even. But there's a certain feeling with a fever. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. It's just you feel different. If I can get strength back, I'm hoping by next week, next Monday, I can go back to the gym. Hoping maybe Sunday. And I don't have Charlie. You saw several bags of marijuana in your trash bin this morning. Bags of it. DCM, you're California, right? It's all legal there. I don't know if bags is legal. Yeah, you can have an ounce. Freaking governments. And I have a digital thermometer, works good and super fast, but it will poke you if you don't stay still. Poke you, huh? Sharp? One of those old sharp ones? As long as it doesn't poke you where China was poking the Biden administration officials when they first went over there to test them for COVID, remember? Bend over. And they did. Oh. I bet you the Chinese officials laughed at those. They're probably still laughing at that one. And how about this whole? It's got to be I can't think. I want to see how stocks ended up today. Hey, DCM, did you see the plunge protection team had to bail them out the other day? They were down like close to 1,000 points, and they finished up 92 points. And there was no news. And when you look at the headlines, oh my God. Investors stepped in and seeing bargains in the market. No, investors didn't see 1,000 points worth of bargains and suddenly buy them up because they were selling all morning. It's just unbelievable. But this whole Russia crap, it's pre-programming. And I'm going to tell you what the pre-programming is saying. Russia will go into the Ukraine and they will take what they want. And there are also, it'll be longer, but they're also going to get the Balkan states back. That's what is being programmed out, and that's what's going to happen. And I don't know what the distraction is. That's the word I was looking for, but it's just a joke. Yeah, DCM, the good old PPT, Plunge Protection Team, to the rescue. It's people at the Federal Reserve. Oh no. Buy. Asterisk point, asterisk buy. Yeah, they're going to taper and march all right. Yeah. Like I said, if they actually do taper, it'll be on the front end only. They'll open up a spigot on the backside, just like they did last time. And it took about a month or two. Remember when they were supplying money in the overnight rate to all the banks? And they were like, well, it's only so much million. And before you know it, was so much trillion a month. And it took a couple months before people figured out, hey, what's going on here with this overnight funding? Oh, yeah, we started that 2 months ago. Yeah, they're going to taper all right. What was labeled gorilla? Interesting. Are you limited to the amount you can have DCM? God forbid you have more than an ounce here in Arizona. I think an ounce is maybe it's 2 ounces. I don't know what it is. It's so stupid. It's like, how do you count ounces if it's in vape form, liquid? Russia stock markets, volcanoes, it never stops. And I'm going to add one to your list. Objects from space that are getting ready to come dangerously close to the Earth. It's like every other day. Or some new space BS that they discovered. We know that the such and such has an iron nickel core just like the Earth, and it's like so many thousands of light years away. You don't even know what's in our core, but they know what's in that one. And the people that believe all that crap, they just swallow it up. Oh, that's what they say. That's the data they gave us. It's got to be true. Taper. Yeah, sticks. Russia. It's all premeditated bullcrap. Even Biden going out there and saying the slip up. I don't think that was a slip up. That was on purpose. Well, if they invade just a little bit, we won't do anything. And you know what? Even the people that voted for him. I was going to read you something, but it has to do with our current medical predicament, and I don't want to get a strike. So anyway, I'm confident that the 2022 election will be fair and balanced, just like 2020. There's no need to fix anything. So we all need to go out and vote for our favorite candidate. And you know what I may do is, even though you guys know how I feel, I may still do a live stream on election night, just so we can have fun with it. And so what we have is we have a bunch of Democrats who are, I guess, sensing a slaughter. They're switching parties. So each one of those is going to be a rhino, right? Perfect. A Republican in name only, because they're just switching because they don't want to be thrown out of office. So you're going to have more rhinos now than you already have. I mean, than you already have now. Probably wanted to call the cops and thought, go ahead, but I'm going to smoke it all. Sticks, where are you from, Sticks? Here in Arizona, before they even had dispensaries, or if you're still, I think it's 25 miles outside of the nearest dispensary, they will allow you to grow your own, which is very difficult. I tried that. It was difficult for me. All right, guys, I'm going to end it. I am starting to feel like DCM noodles. France, Conehead. Are you in France now, Sticks? No. I remember the cone heads, though. Is that back when Saturday Night Live was funny? The cone heads. Forgot about them. So nobody commented on the whole shadows being cast upward thing. To me, it's maybe I'm the only one that sees it. It's just that's it. That is the definitive. It's so definitive. Like I said, if the shadow casts upward, I'll probably switch to a glow believer. That's how definitive I think it is. And I think the chances of that happening are 0. Paris, Texas. Yeah, Texas. See, that's the problem. It's nice to live in an area where you don't have these people controlling your lives in one way, like our rhino governor did here in the past 2 years, like the California governor still is, and the Michigan governor, and the Maryland governor, and the Massachusetts governor. But they control it in their own ways. Not just the governor. I'm talking about the whole thing. The right doesn't like you to have the right to ingest things into your body that they don't like. Big Worm, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm not 100% for sure, but I am better. Susan was looking at bags of stuff. An old man in a wheelchair asked us what we got. We got something that'll make you feel like you can walk. Feel. Did I tell you about the guy that was like, to me, it was like total inspiration. It's like, there's no excuse. The guy at the gym who was totally blind comes in. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he came in with the walking stick, the whole thing. And I happened to be by the dumbbell rack one day when he was there. And I said hello to him, whatever. And he said, "Can you help me find the 25s?" So I told him where they were because I know he wanted to find it himself, and he did. And then I assisted him into, how to count up the rack, how it was laid out and stuff like that. And, but it's like, there's no excuse. There's another guy there who's missing a leg. He comes in a wheelchair, big guy. And these are inspirations. You guys are funny. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Thanks for being here. Way less than what we normally get on Mr. Thrive and Survive, but whatever. And as far as I know, Friday we're going to do a stream. I was going to tell you that Charlie's not here. That way I don't have to walk him. He's with my son and daughter-in-law. He's having a great time. Oh, thank you, Nikki M. Great video on your muscle fast post workouts. Thank you. That was one of those ones I wanted to have up Friday. And it was already, except for me saying the script. The script was there. The videos, overlays were there. Everything was there. Just I had to read the script to the camera, so to speak. I mean, I read the script and then I just ad-lib it. But I couldn't do it till today because my voice wasn't there till today and it hurt too much before then. Thank you, Vanish, and thanks everybody for the prayers. Maybe it wasn't the eye drug. I'm sure it wasn't, because if God doesn't grant the healing, you're not going to get healed anyway. So 10 hours, that's a miracle, especially how I felt before that 10 hours was up and after. I mean, it's like I had strep throat and then nothing. Thank you, One Day Closer. I'm going to go get my rest right now. That's why I'm signing off. I'm going to go lay down and take it easy because I pushed myself hard today. Harder than I should have, I'm sure. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. Thanks for everything. All right, guys. God bless. Take care. And if everything is the way I think it's going to be, I'll be back Friday. And it's still too early for Mr. Thrive and Survive channel. So it'll be back here. So take care, guys. Good night.